It's 8:40 and we're headed to Denver ComicCon. My voice is coming back to normal. Got all my cards, all my posters, ready to go. Hopefully not sound like I'm begging people, but just giving out stuff and seeing if we can get some support in person. So wish me luck. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I've been walking for probably a quarter mile now, and it's still... It's pretty far, if you could see. I'm not sure, I wasn't really looking at the camera. And it's a madhouse. There's so many people. It's hard to stop and talk to people too and say, hey, you like ninjas? I love ninjas, check out my ninjas. It's just an interesting thing, but seriously. So many people. Someone go upstairs to Artist Alley and talk to them. So I'm sitting at my friend's table, Isis. Sweet, sold him 4 comics already. Trying to sell mine too at the same table. And like I said, it's still hard to pass out cards. Like, you wouldn't think that it's difficult to kind of like, you know, just give away your products. But people just, some will take it, some won't. And gotta hope. But check out this. They got a sweet setup and it's fun to sell the comics, so I'm hoping to do this again next year and maybe get my own table so we can show off our own work. But this is so much fun. Hey guys, it's tomorrow. My phone died. They charge you a lot of money apparently to charge your phone somewhere, and every outlet that was free, there was like 10 or 12 Mortal Kombat characters and Final Fantasy characters sitting around and charging their phones, so I didn't really want to get into a fight with them over the plug. Being able to see how well received comics are in general. I think there was 80,000 to 100,000 people who went through or are supposed to go through this whole weekend. And I mean, if there's anything that makes you know you're on the right track, that's hearing from industry standard artists that your work looks great and seeing so many people who are just gung-ho and excited and willing to give up a weekend just to come and gather in kinship and friendship and to share in our just admiration and love for these stories and artwork. And it's just amazing. It was a great experience, a lot of fun. You know, I would suggest if you like comic books and you have the chance to go to a con, you should go. Conventions are great, and you never, it's hard to feel alone, I guess is the best way to put it, when you see how many people are just enjoying themselves and enjoying the work of others. Alright, so quick shout out for some of these artists. If I pronounce the names wrong, you have to forgive me. I'm not necessarily great at pronouncing names, but one of them was Morgan Beam. I hadn't seen any of her work before. She did this cool Adventure Time watercolor print, and I mean, like, her work is just amazing. Super cool stuff. And I also bought another print from her that I gave to my cousin, and she was just like, she loved it. Another one is Tom Rosh. Rosh, I think that's how you pronounce his name. You should check him out. His website is go to blackalpha.blogspot.com. It was in Big Bang Theory in the comic book shop. They had this poster hanging up, and he was super cool enough to sign it for me. He's just a really great guy, and his, like, everything he's done, just his library of work is phenomenal. And then Mike Vasquez did this sweet Adventure Time Legend of Zelda mix, and I mean, those are two of my favorite things. When I was doing Batman Arkham cartoon, I was just watching Adventure Time and playing Legend of Zelda, so as soon as I saw that, I bought it. And he is like the nicest guy I've ever met. Gave me tons of great information of places to apply for indie comics, and he said that Action Lab is where we should apply, and that they'd probably be really interested in what we're doing. And then I got 3, count it, 3 comic books from ISIS, my friends Alex and David. They were there. They had their own table. They were hustling, bustling. I helped them sell some, which was great. It was so much fun to sit at a table and to hustle the comics and keep saying hustle, but that's what it feels like when you're there. And I can't wait to dig into them. I just got home to read them, and they just did some great work. So you should definitely check those guys out as well. Another shout out. I didn't get anything from Zach Howard. I wish I did. His line work is like amazing. I grew up loving Ed McGuinness's work, and then when I saw Zach's work, it was just so reminiscent, but also like it just had better character, I think, because Ed always did all those like really beefy guys, but Zach had a more broad spectrum, and it was really cool to see it in person. And he was super, I mean, just super nice, super funny guy too, really down to earth, and very humble. So you should definitely give his stuff a look. I think he's at zachhoward.com. And then finally, I'd never heard of Boom Comics before until I went to Griffin Games and Comics. And by the way, if you're in Fort Collins, go to Griffin Game and Comics. Those guys are amazing. They have a bunch of local artist stuff, and they're super supportive. They have a bunch of great things that I can't wait to go be a part of. And Chris, the guy, he was the one I personally met and handed my stuff to, and he was just like, he made me feel like a rock star, basically. He's just an amazing guy, super friendly, super informative, and they pointed out Six Gun Gorilla, and it's printed by Boom, Jeff Stokely and Simon Spurrier, I think is his name. And I haven't cracked into it yet, but when I got to the Boom comic stand, I asked them, I said, hey, what would you suggest? And they said Six Gun Gorilla. So it was kind of like the fates aligned, and I had to buy it, and I did, and I'm really excited to get into it because the artwork just looks amazing, and just the premise of the story is out of this world, and we all know that that's some of the most fun stuff to read. So yeah, I just wanted to give out a shout out to all those guys because they really made the convention more memorable. You know, having industry standard artists, like I said earlier, telling you that what you're doing looks good, and just to keep going at it. I mean, what more could I ask for? You know, it's amazing, and I can't wait to tell my team all of the good feedback, and I hope that we get something out to you guys soon so you can see how awesome the whole comic book is going to be, and hope to see you next year.